In this morning's top story, Minneapolis's community activists are calling for a public meeting tonight. It's surrounding the latest police-involved shooting. Almost 3 weeks ago, 2 Minneapolis officers killed Thurman Blevins.
Yeah, since then, we've seen protests and demand for body cam footage to be released. And KARE 11's Kaya Edwards is here. And Kaya, there's a meeting tonight. What's going on there?
Well, so people are not accepting the police version of what happened that Saturday night in North Minneapolis. And organizers say the purpose of tonight's meeting is to let the community hear it from another perspective.
Justice for June! Justice for June! Justice for June! Justice for June!
Friends, family members.
He was, a good man, a father of 3.
And people who never even met Thurman June Blevins have been sharing their message loud and clear.
Shut it down!
This was just last Friday.
This was done wrongfully, and that this man truly deserves justice. We're walking. And we're shutting down Hennepin.
Here's what's happening tonight. The Justice for June Committee is hosting a meeting to let people hear what witnesses say happened June 23rd. The group claims no witnesses saw a gun as police chased Blevins that night.
The officers were subjected to a threat.
Police claim otherwise.
There were numerous commands to drop the firearm. The suspect did not comply with these commands.
It stems from a 911 call. Someone reported a man who looked drunk was shooting a gun. Officers Ryan Kelly and Justin Schmidt responded, shooting Blevins to death. The BCA is reviewing the case to see if the officers' use of force was justified. As protests and meetings continue.
The meeting starts at 6:30 tonight at Jenny Lind Elementary in North Minneapolis. Also happening this week, the BCA's superintendent plans to talk to community members at a different meeting. That one's tomorrow in Weber Park.